Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included here in the One Duplicant Challenge on the second planetoid still. At the end of the previous episode I realized that we actually need duplicant labor to operate the Desalinator, and you actually also let me know that the filter here is unnecessary as I can run both of the liquids through either machine. So I've been thinking, if we go ahead and remove this filter, we could run the pipes through the water sieve first. All the brine will either continue through the output or it will bypass. Yeah, I kind of need to know that first, so I'm just gonna do a simple setup here. So now if I reverse this sensor, we should be getting some liquid in to test things out. Yeah, let's actually just leave it at that. And okay, so it comes out the output. That actually changes my plan slightly. We still first want to do the cooling, but after going into the water sieve, we go back down again into the Desalinator. The problem here is if we make a bypass for the brine, we lose half of it anyways, because only half of it can be processed and I assume the rest is going to continue. Yeah, I'm gonna get this built, get myself a better picture and then make the necessary adaptations for this to function. But basically when I'm not on the planetoid, I would like the brine to be processed still, so it's gonna go into a steam room. I don't want to do this with all the liquids because it's kind of nonsensical to heat it up to 120 degrees and then cool it down to 20 degrees again. So I'm only gonna do that when I'm forced to do it, namely when my duplicant is not on the planetoid and the Desalinator is already used up. I'm gonna do this with the gold volcano room because we will have to limit the room to 20 kilograms of steam instead of the 85 I currently have. And I'd rather do this with the gold volcano than with the iron or the aluminium volcano, which I believe is much more dangerous, therefore I would like to have more steam in there. Also I figured if we have the conveyor loader in this spot, it can be used by both auto sweepers. That means I don't need this conveyor loader necessarily, or any of these rails, as this is already connected. Okay, now let's quickly test this out with a bunch of bubbles. That should already be enough. It's going through the water sieve and the brine is just continuing like that. Now, what if we cannot keep up with processing the brine? I don't think that was actually taxing enough. I'm gonna leave it open for a little while longer, so we have to process more brine at a time. Okay, there we go. This is the proof. If you have a 10 kilogram packet going through here, we're not going to be able to keep up and it's just going to continue. But hold the phone. Why is water continuing this way? It should be going in. Oh, okay, that is a problem. Though I think we might be able to solve this easily with a liquid valve. If we just go ahead and add this here, does this require power? Well, it does have some power and we just need to cut the pipes there. So now we're simply going to limit the flow of materials to 5 kilograms. There's my liquid valve and now we're simply going to reduce this to 5 kilograms. Now this shouldn't happen anymore because we only get 5 kilogram packets which can be easily processed by these machines. That's interesting, some boogers still got away after they have been processed here. Yeah, look at that. This actually comes out as a 10 kilogram packet and right here we have 5 kilograms. But the water technically, yeah, it does go through. So what? No, there's no issue. Okay. I just saw. As it processes something, it doesn't let anything through. Oh my gosh, that is another problem I didn't foresee. You know what? In this case, I'm actually gonna change it completely. I'm gonna rearrange a few things. Give me some time to do that and I'm gonna show you the results. Okay, I think I found a satisfactory solution. Maybe it is slightly more complicated than it needs to be, but it is going to work. We still have the same mechanism here. As soon as the water is hot enough, it is going to go right over here, cooling down the lower and upper room, and then it is first going into a liquid reservoir. From the reservoir, it is going out into the Desalinator, where it will be processed and it will continue into the water sieve. From here, it will go out of the system. There's also a bypass at the Desalinator, which means it goes all the way up here, but it is halted by this liquid shutoff that is only gonna turn on if there is 75% of liquid inside of the reservoir. So this is connected with a cable through a NOT gate and going all the way to the liquid shutoff. And of course it's 75% right here, and I set the low threshold to 10%. So in case the Desalinator needs to be emptied and my duplicant is not on the planetoid, the liquid reservoir is slowly gonna fill up, and at 75% we're gonna open up the liquid shutoff. When the liquid shutoff opens up, it will open up to the water sieve, therefore the polluted water is still going to be processed. However, the brine and the normal water are going to continue to the exit of the contraption, and right here I'm checking for water. If it is water, it's going to open up the liquid shutoff and therefore the water can flow into the water storage. And then the rest of the liquids, aka the brine, is going to continue all the way over into the gold volcano contraption. This way, when my duplicant is on the planetoid and emptying the desalinator, I will always have the brine processed right here, otherwise it's gonna happen in the gold steam room. Yeah, and that's basically everything. The only difference is now we don't have an auto sweeper for the desalinator, but it's only gonna be a little bit of salt, so I think I can sweep that up myself the very few times I'm gonna be on this planetoid. Anyways, now we need to make sure that we don't accumulate the steam in this room. We need to make sure that we always have a maximum of about 20 kilograms and the rest we're gonna lead into the system. In order to do that, we're gonna sweep up a little bit of crude oil here and maybe also there in order to create the liquid lock and get inside of the volcano. And we just need a little bit as usual. The rest that drops down, we're gonna mop up again. And once we have a drop and it's not dribbling anymore, we can open this up without issues. We're basically gonna need a second auto sweeper in this room in order to pick up the salt or potentially the polluted dirt, and it should still be able to reach the conveyor loader, which is an easy process. Furthermore, we're gonna need an atmos sensor in here to detect how much steam we have. And what do we want to influence with that? Basically, we would like to get the water from the steam turbine extracted out of the room. Now, how do we do this? Maybe we just go ahead and influence the shutoff. That might be the easiest. So if we go ahead and route a cable over there, we can close it once we have too much steam in here. And then we simply bypass. Maybe we hop over here. Let's go ahead and make a cut. Bridge right here, bridge right there, and this would go all the way over into the water storage. No, wait, that's the pipe that's coming out of the water storage. I need to have a separate route that goes into it. Okay, yeah, this way we don't even need to enter the upper room. We can just go in at the bottom and build the additional things. We have a little drop of oil right here that thankfully is making all of this possible. My sensor is right here. I want to set it to 20 kilograms. And basically, as long as we are below the 20,000 kilograms, which is the maximum I can detect, it should be opened. It is a little bit hot. I totally forgot we're without atmosuit on this planetoid, but it seems I'm outside of the room so quickly that I don't even get scolded. There's my second auto sweeper. Oh no, it has no cabling. Let's fix that ASAP so we can close off the room. And that should be our fix for the desalinator. Actually, looking at this, one more thing we can do better is instead of going up here, maybe go directly over. So I'm gonna remove this bridge and everything after it. And instead we're gonna place it here and move over into the vent. No, even better, we should make a separate vent, of course, because otherwise we would be getting the brine and we don't want the brine to bypass. So we should absolutely use a separate vent. And you know, I just see something even better. We go beneath and up. I love that. We're currently losing quite a bit of heat, so I might want to prioritize this and close it. I did get scolded for the first time now, but there's no time to cry. Oh geez, actually there might be some time to cry. Holy cow. Okay, let's get out of here. I'm gonna have to work on something else. Screw the heat we're losing, it doesn't matter. Just do something else for a little bit. We will be getting some health back over the day because of our trades. You know what? Just to be sure, I'm actually gonna build a triage cot because it is getting really close and I cannot afford to lose my only duplicant. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm just gonna spend a cycle or so in here. Okay, we're a third way there. I need to build this vent now and then close off the room. It's getting too toasty outside. No, don't do things like that. Nathan, just build the freaking vent. Okay, I let the system run for a little bit and I noticed that we are accumulating more and more chill water, so I decided to lower the threshold. Now it's at 20 degrees when we accept the liquid exiting the system there to be processed. And I think we can even take it to the next level by actually changing these sensors to 300 degrees. The water is just so powerful, we don't even need to cool these items down to 200 degrees. I also built a little insulation layer, so the aluminium is not gonna lose as much heat as it travels up. But basically now every few minutes we are extracting more liquid, we are processing it, and it is landing in here. It is slowly being cooled down. We are already at 30 degrees, we started at 60 degrees. And of course all of this needs to be filled up before anything else happens, and I cannot be bothered to wait for that before we go to the next contraption, which I already prepared right here in order to clean the water from germs. If you remember, we are full of germs here. I kind of like that. And it's the only option we have if we want to use the infectious polluted water vent. But there we go, we already have achieved a vacuum. That means I can take things apart. All of this can go again, thank you very much. What we want to do here is lead the water through a series of liquid reservoirs. Usually 3 are enough, but I'm gonna do as many as I can. Yeah, we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if we can, actually we need some mechanized airlocks at the bottom for this to function properly, and this is at the wrong spot here. Yeah, in this case we're just gonna do 4, that's gonna be good enough. Some mechanized airlocks at the bottom. What this is gonna do is if we open the airlocks, the liquid is not gonna be allowed to exit the reservoirs, and as soon as we close them, the liquid can continue. Now here is our output. We're gonna go ahead and grab that and lead it into our first input. I guess let's just go down here and over. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna do it there. And then it needs to be daisy chained from one reservoir to the next. We also need some automation wire, which is gonna go from the reservoir to the door. Now let me think. This sends a green signal when the reservoir is less than the low threshold. Yeah, I think we might want to invert that signal with a NOT gate. So we'll have a NOT gate for each reservoir, going from the reservoir to the input of the airlock. The airlocks themselves will not have to be powered, they just open and close a little bit slower. And then another thing we're gonna need here is a storage bin. Hopefully we have some chlorine handy on this world. No, unfortunately not. I will have to bring this from the main planetoid. But if we fill this room up with just a tiny amount of chlorine, the liquid inside of the reservoirs is gonna be cleaned from the germs. At the very end, I think I want to add a little security measurement, namely a germ sensor, which we still have to research. But if we put a germ sensor here, we can be completely sure that we have eliminated all of the germs, otherwise we can just recycle it. By the way, these airflow tiles I installed just in case something here breaks. I'm not sure, this doesn't look very trustworthy. Right here, I think we're gonna be fine, this should hold up. Oh, one research actually already completed. This one here is gonna go quick as well. Yeah, that's actually not gonna be much of an issue to finish. I just wish I had some chlorine on this planetoid. Wait a second, we do have chlorine in the form of gases. That's actually gonna make it much easier. We just pick it up from here somewhere, get the closest power line to it. I'm gonna add a little high gas pressure vent together with, let me see, a gas element sensor. No, wait, that's the wrong one. I need to go with the pipe gas element sensor, right there. If we detect chlorine, then we want to close it, so we need to set up a NOT gate. Wait a second, I'm a complete idiot. I was searching for chlorine instead of bleachstone. Can we please keep that under wraps? I don't want anyone to know I'm a complete noob. You know what, in this case I'm gonna abandon this project. Let's just forget this happened. Editing Nathan, please just eliminate that. There is my storage bin. We need bleachstone. Was it this hard? We briefly have to send the red signal to the mechanized airlocks so we can even build the liquid reservoirs. And in the meantime, we're down to 28 degrees here. The temperature actually distributes nicely, and I love this. It was a good decision to put the water temperature down. And oh, that actually reminds you, you also let me know why this happened here with the glitch in quotes. It's not a glitch if you have a rail above a metal tile, even if it is in a vacuum, it is considered touching the metal tile. So as soon as the debris came here with the rail, it was as if it was touching the metal tile. Therefore no actual heat was lost. What you gonna do? As for the liquid reservoirs, I want to set this to about 30% for the high threshold and about 25% for the low one. And we can just go ahead, copy this over. Another research has been completed, so we just have to do one more to get access to the germ sensors. There is my last reservoir, wonderful. Let's make sure to set this up as well. Now we just need those pipes and we need to fill up the entirety of the room. Oh, will you look at that. My first bleachstone actually arrived, so we are filling up this room with chlorine, precious chlorine. You only really need a little bit of it, but I usually fill up the entirety of the room so we get this nice green tint. And now this room is slowly gonna fill up. We did all of the automation, though at the moment these guys should be open. Hold the phone. Sends a green signal when reservoir is less than low threshold. Whoops, my bad. Okay, they don't actually require a NOT gate. Let's forget this ever happened. Editing Nathan, I rely heavily on you to make this right. Just clip it together in a way that makes me look like the best Oxygen Not Included player, please. Research completed, so this is the last piece of the puzzle. Let me see, what do we need? Germ sensor, but we needed that for the plumbing. So liquid pipe, germ sensor. Let's maybe add this here, then bunch of pipes. We first go into the sensor and we could do it with a shut off. So if we have the shut off here, the good water could go out. Let's say we move all the way over here into our system. So we're probably just gonna follow the rails we have there. Gotta re-add those ladders. Whoops. We then have our liquid shut off like so. And oh no, I cannot bypass this way. We could bypass over here and then just double bridge. So one goes up, another one goes down the bypass and then moves over. And I basically want to end up back in the system, but we are most likely never going to use this pipe because, as mentioned, 3 reservoirs are usually enough for this process to clean all the germs. But there we go, this is essentially everything that we require. Only in the next episode we might figure out if it actually works correctly. But so far I'm pretty happy. I'm just gonna go ahead and build this in between the episodes, so hopefully the next time we can get it launched. But with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye bye.